in carriage while the service was being prepared for passengers at Keswick train station. The blaze, however, did not delay the train, which set off for Darwin on time after a replacement carriage was brought in. When Captain Arthur Phillip landed in Australia in 1788, one of his first decisions was to investigate the blue haze of the mountain range that could be seen in the distance. That decision would lead to the founding of Penrith, Sydney's most western suburb, which this year celebrates 200 years of settlement.
The history of Penrith is just 1 year younger than the first settlement of Australia.
They wanted to find better land. They wanted to see what was out there. They could see the mountains in the distance, and they believed there would be a river at the bottom, at the base of those mountains.
On maps from the early 1800s, it was originally known as Castle Ray and was actually a little bit up the road. But when the way was found over the Blue Mountains in 1813, the place the road began became Penrith, although the penmanship of William Cox, the bloke that built the road, could have seen it called otherwise.
In his first notes, he said Penryn, and then later on he wrote Penrith, so we really don't know where it came from.
So it could have been a typo.
Could have been, yeah.
It wasn't long before the church and the state overlooked the settlers, as St Stephen's still does today. But it was when the railroad came through in 1863 and over the river 4 years later that Penrith gained weight.
If they had a horse and cart, then it would take them a whole day to travel into Sydney.
The rails that ran through Penrith made her the last stop before heading west into the bush, and she prospered.
The big locomotives had to be set up so they could make that journey over the mountains.
The wide and deep river would play host to the townfolk's amusements.
What we have here is about 3 kilometres of straight stretch of river. We can swim here all year, all time.
To cricket at nearby Thornton Park.
Very historical precinct out here. Goes back probably the late 1800s. It was a speedway in the 1930s and 40s.
It was more country town than Sydney suburb. An 047 telephone prefix when phones weren't mobile. And despite road now trumping rail, the suburbs have crept out to meet Penrith. In her bicentennial year, Penrith still stands guard at the gates to the mountains, the moat of the Nepean in between.
Good luck for the next 200 years.
Absolutely, don't need good luck. It's all there, ready to go.
Mike Dalton, 9 News.
In the news ahead, from church services to chocolate eggs, how Sydney has been celebrating Easter. Also, what happens when a buffalo goes on the run from the law? And hidden in the clouds, spectacular pictures of the blood moon that stargazers missed out